morning, everybody. How are you? The devilishly handsome Ian Dixon. Good morning, sir.
Shut up, for fuck's sake. Jesus.
Good morning, everybody. How are you? Welcome to the show at Wise Up, Rise Up Show. This our Wise Up Wednesday. How are you doing? I hope you are feeling good this morning. I hope you are hitting up hump day with some verve and vigor. I don't know where that phrase came from, but I'm going to use it again. How are you? Come and get in here. Come and have a Wednesday cuddle. What's the weather doing where you are in the world? It is blowing a gale out here in the northwest of England in Preston this morning. Let me know in the comments if you are watching along. If you are watching on the Dani Wallace personal profile, I won't see your comments. So you need to head over to the IATQB Hive or the Queen Bee Dani page here on Facebook, or indeed if you're watching on LinkedIn, let me know that you're watching there as well. How are you doing? Okay, so it's Wise Up Wednesday. So the premise of the show is showing up, wising up and rising up. On a Monday, we turn up together and we set our intentions for the week. My intentions for this week was to spend some time with my kids, was to spend some time with my husband and my family. It was to reconnect with friends that I've not spoke to in a long, long while, because I've been so head down and really neglecting, I know a lot of my friendships for the sake of getting everything done that I need doing. And I really miss those friendships. So holla out to all of my very, very patient friends who have just been sort of stood in the sidelines cheering me on as I've been running 10 to the dozen. I've been trying to make it my business to be reaching out to my friends and just saying, hey, I've not forgotten about you. I love you. And let's spend some time together when we can. So we're doing a bit of that this week. And also, I have been having some incredible conversations about Be Inspired New York. So in July, I'm going to be heading over with the team to New York. I'm going to be facilitating the Be Inspired Mastermind for our American siblings. So I've been having some fantastic conversations over the past few days with potential cohort. We're going to get kicking in the next couple of weeks. So if you know anybody over the pond that needs to be working with your girl, let them know. Let them know to get in touch with me. There is going to be details coming out in a bumper email. So there is a bumper email coming out to you today to fill you in on everything that is going on over here at IATQB. So the other intentions for this week, as we were setting them on Monday, were to get you all of the information that you needed to get involved in all of the charity stuff that we are doing for the Fly Anyway Foundation. So the Fly Anyway Foundation is a foundation that I've created to help people that have overcome domestic abuse to plug into business goods and services if they've got a business idea. So what I found right at the beginning of my business journey is that my confidence, my self-confidence and belief in myself was at an all-time low. I had some great ideas, but no finances or credit in the first instance to be able to get going with those incredible ideas. So what we do with our business builders is we go through a thorough business plan with them. We put together like a prescription of business goods and services that we can plug them into via our ambassadors. That's where you guys come in. So people who are providers of business goods and services, we plug our business builders into ambassadors who have either donated or subsidized their business goods and services so that they can build a business, build their financial independence, build their confidence and build their self-belief. So lots of things been happening in the background with the Fly Anyway Foundation for the past 18 months. And it's only just right now that we are able to start to really grow, really start to have you guys more heavily involved in what it is that we're doing. I'm going to be talking to you about corporate citizenship today, but that's been one of the things. Is there is a couple of things that you can get directly involved with immediately if you wanted to, with regards to the Fly Anyway Foundation. So I want to be letting you know about that over the course of the show today, but also in my bumper update email. It's been a long while since I've emailed my list. And normally I love on you guys quite regularly, but there's been so much happening. Actually, the impossible task for me has been to sit down and write about it all. Today, I'm going to change all of that. Excuse me. And that's not corporate citizenship. I'm going to talk to you about that in a second. So I'm just updating you. So Mondays, we set our intentions. Hi, Fiona Bryan, who's watching along today. Am I StreamYarding okay? Yes, indeed you are. Pixie Knowles, I can see you. Very good morning to you. If you are watching along, don't be a voyeur. Please do drop me a comment and let me know that you're about. Let me know that you're there. So I'm not just shouting into the wind on my own. And if you're watching on LinkedIn, hello to all of our LinkedIn contingency. Yay, good morning to you, my darlings. So on a Wednesday, for the most part, we'll get a visitor or a guest to come in onto the show to talk to us about stuff, to talk to us about what they're getting up to provide us with some value, to teach us about things, and make it activists to come in to talk about what they're being activists about, trying to really break down barriers with regards to conversations. For example, last week we had the incredible Dipti Solanki come and join us. We were talking about grief and mental health and how us getting a grip on our own emotions assists us in passing that baton, a healthier baton, onto our kids, and maybe breaking generational patterns of either poor mental health or poor management of emotions. So we was talking about that last week. This week, we're not having a guest. You've just got me. I've got so much to tell you this morning that it's a solo show. And then on a Friday, we get together at 9:30 and celebrate our wins for the week, things that we have achieved over the course of the week. So that's the show up, wise up, rise up aspect of the show. And I really do implore as many of you as possible to get involved with that, to help keep you on track. This is here for our community, to keep us ever moving forward, ever building, ever growing, ever connecting, and ever networking, which now takes me onto the topic of the day, corporate citizenship. So if you're listening along and watching along, what I would love to know in the comments today is, what is your take on corporate citizenship? What does that mean to you? Do you even know? And when I say it like that, is I didn't really kind of get a full grasp on this, really, for the until the sort of 12 months ago, really understanding what corporate citizenship means. And for me, corporate citizenship is a couple of things. It's about how we exist in the world as business owners together. So a lot of business owners kind of treat their business as a like a silo. I'm in business and I'm building my community, and this is where I live and this is where I reside, and I'm building it over here in this particular corner. Fiona Bryan, I feel like I should know, but I don't really. Is it a posh word for networking? Kind of, a little bit deeper than that. And that's why I wanted to speak about it today. So corporate citizenship is about how we coexist as a business community, and not just for complementary industries, but industries that could even be, in inverted commas, direct competition. Now, I'm not a huge lover of talking about competition specifically, although it would be remiss of me to say that there is competition out there. Even for me, there are other public speaking coaches out there, for example. And the way we consider, I don't know if you can hear, I'm talking and Wallace is snoring in the background. That's how interested he finds corporate citizenship. Yeah, yeah, you are. It's half term and he's having a lie-in. It's a really noisy lie-in over there. So the way that I consider, or the way that I attach or disattach myself from competition, is that I may be, and this is a Dita Von Teese quote, maybe the ripest, juiciest peach in the world, but still not everybody likes peaches. So I might not be the public speaker. I know you like peaches. Shut up. No, For God's sake. Who thinks if Wallace is going to chip in that he should go downstairs, put some headphones on, and come and join us on the show to talk about corporate citizenship? That is a solid yes from everybody. I even know that's going to be the case. Pipe down, I'm talking. So this is my dance space right now. So when I consider competition, we're talking about the ripest, juiciest peach in the world, and not everybody in the world likes peaches. As a good member of my community, it's then, I think, my duty to know other providers of a similar provision to me, of a similar product to me, so that I can say, okay, I might not be the right speaking coach for you, but I also know Drew Davis. I also know Nat Skywalker. I also know Hilary Dunn. I also know people out in my industry who I know, like, trust, and even love, who I collaborate with on the regular, who I lift up. I invite these people onto my show to come and speak about what it is that they do, so that as many people as possible have access to all the fruits in the bowl and then get to choose accordingly. So there have been some great examples, particularly through lockdown, I think, of corporate citizenship, how people sit within the world together, how businesses reside in the world together, acknowledging each other. Now, for a long time, what a lot of big businesses did was ignore. So first thing is they ignore the fact that there are other people in the competition space. So they don't talk about it with their clients or customers. They don't talk about it on their social media. They just ignore the fact that they want to be the go-to person. And I get that. It's totally cool. I want to be the go-to person for the majority of everything that I do. However, I also know I don't turn everybody on. The way that I speak, are you laughing? Mm-hmm. He's laughing. I know I don't need to. That's not the intention here, Wally. So, like, calm yourself. But my delivery may be too brash. I may be too loud. I may be too soft. I may be too woo. I may be too all of these things. And if I was to negate the fact that there are other really incredible providers of speaking coaching out there, I wouldn't be even allowing myself to stand head and shoulders above anybody. I would be ignoring it. I would have my blinkers on so much that I wouldn't be able to help people who I might not be able to help in the first instance. So that was one of the first things that I noticed, is that in the first instance, lots of businesses would ignore the fact that there was competition out in the world in the space that they were in. And the second thing that people or businesses would do is be aggressive towards that competition. So be unkind towards that competition. Now, for me, if a business is going at the energy of being unkind towards other people in business in the industry, that's a huge no for me, as somebody who's interacting in goods and services myself. So if I see, so I engage, as well, with coaches and mentors a lot. If I see coaches and mentors openly, or even if I catch wind of it behind the scenes, belittling or putting down other people within their industry, it's a hard no from me. Because if that person thinks they can behave like that, then what's going to ensure me that they're not going to behave like that about me, right? So I can't align myself with the energy of people who are looking at other people and belittling what they're doing, or being a sort of aggressive or smearing those people. That's not the kind of energy that nor a lot of people that I know want to be involved with. Like, who wants to be involved in witch hunts? Who wants to be involved in? You just don't, right? So a surefire way to turn off people from you and your business is to behave in such a way, like to be outing people for stuff. And I think, one of my friends, Lisa Johnson, actually has talked about this, where in the past she's got, someone's boiled her piss, right? And she's very, very well known within her industry. And so what she will do is she will would have tried to out that poor behavior. And actually, it doesn't really serve anybody, because people are going to go to who they're going to go to anyway. And the energy, and she realized, and talks about this within her community, realized that her energy is best spent on helping the people that she can help, right? And this happens right the way across. I've seen this happen right the way across. Particularly Twitter's a great place. I got an itchy nose this morning. I think this means I'm going to have a fight. Are we going to have a fight, Wallace? You're going to have a sexy fight. A sexy fight. I got an itchy nose. Are you okay there? He's literally exiting the room, and then things are just falling down around him. So, Wow. Okay. So, what are you guys saying about this, by the way? They're saying that Wallace needs to make me a cup of coffee. I do not disagree with that. So, totally true. Who is this? I was taught this is a 15-year-old working in a hair salon on a Saturday as a Saturday girl in 1984. Never put down another salon. It's a small world and you never know who's going to walk through the door and end up working with you. Precisely that. Precisely that. And Pixie, what are you saying? I've had some people add me recently, and all I've seen so far is them calling other people con artists and slating people. I assume it's a why not to work with others, but I'm yet to see a why to work with me. Perfect example. Absolutely perfect example. Amy Blaney's on a muggle job training and wanted to jump in and say hi. Oh, hello, Amy Blaney. Lovely to see you this morning. So, particularly Twitter is a great place to see this. Social media is a great place to see this. There is lots of, and has been lots of, don't work with people who, when people are saying, and people is in inverted commas, it's always directed at somebody, it's always generally directed at an individual. This show today isn't. This is something that I've just been waking up to and understanding a little bit more of. And the more I see fantastic networks out there, the more I want to share them with you guys so that you can get involved in what healthy corporate citizenship should be, right? And you get involved, it means that we all do well. And we all do well when we all do well. And that's great corporate citizenship. So, examples on Twitter since lockdown, because it was really when we were on lockdown, the main source of marketing for lots and lots of big businesses. So let's go supermarkets now. So supermarkets and fast food chains are two examples of industries that work alongside each other in direct competition with each other in the social media space, and actually have done better off of the back of being good corporate citizens with each other. So let's take Marks and Spencer's and Aldi. So Marks and Spencer's and Aldi had a bit of a to-do about a year ago, was it? Maybe even 18 months ago. I don't know. Time is a blur in COVID times, right? So there is the Colin the Caterpillar saga. And for years, M&S, Marks and Spencer's, has had Colin the Caterpillar. But in thinking about it, most other supermarkets have some version of Colin the Caterpillar and have done for a long time. So I don't know about you, does anybody have a bit of a love for Colin the Caterpillar as a birthday cake? So I see lots, not particularly in this house. I'm not a fan of Swiss rolls, right? Because that's essentially what Colin the Caterpillar is. It's a big Swiss roll. Like a chocolate Swiss roll, looks like a caterpillar draped in chocolate, caterpillar face on, and you put candles all the way down its back, and that is a happy birthday cake for lots of people, and almost a tradition in some people's houses. I thought it was an Asda thing. If I'll be perfectly honest with you. But M&S took umbrage with Aldi, particularly with regards to sending them some sort of cease and desist around the retail of their version of Colin the Caterpillar. Now, that is not a good example of good corporate citizenship. That's an example of a business working with its blinkers on, trying to control the industry, right? Trying to control the industry. What happened then was really interesting. We had the likes of Co-op come to the party on social media. We had the likes of Asda come to the party on social media. I think Lidl came to the party. I think Morrison's came to the party. And they were talking about, that Colin the Caterpillar is a loved tradition in lots of families. It's just a caterpillar-shaped Swiss roll. There was lots of fun had by the participating supermarkets, all in direct competition with each other with this same product, but knowing that people, if they participate in a way that's fun, in a way that's joyful, that actually that is going to attract more customers, more clients, more followers than doing what Marks and Spencer's did. And Marks and Spencer's is it's a bit of a dinosaur in the world of supermarkets. It's been around for a long, long time, hundreds of years. Excuse me. And it's known as sort of the granddad, the grandfather of supermarket situation, and behaves as such sometimes. If we look at the wider demographic, Marks and Spencer tends to be, although they have done work on this as a brand and have done for a number of years, but tends to be, older people that go and shop there and dealing with these things in these sort of archaic ways. So whilst the other supermarkets were having a field day around this Colin the Caterpillar situation, Marks and Spencer said nothing. Day 2, Marks and Spencer said nothing. Day 3, Marks and Spencer said nothing. During this time, the press had picked up on this conversation. Social media had picked up on this conversation. The conversation was now going viral. People were laughing. And because of Marks and Spencer's requirement to control the market that wasn't working well for them now, they were now turning on Marks and Spencer's, saying, oh, you're not with the times. Actually, by them not reacting and getting involved in this situation, being a part of this conversation with their direct competitors, they were seen as being not progressive. They were seen as being, oh, for God's sake, come on, it's just a Caterpillar cake. It's not even their flagship product. It's not something that they're going to lose market over. It was just a product that had actually, over the course of years, been emulated elsewhere anyway. I don't think it had been copyrighted in the first instance, and everyone had kind of gagged in on it. I don't know. Anyway, I think they had to have enough differences. Anyway, Marks and Spencer said nothing. Marks and Spencer said nothing. It took Marks and Spencer's about a week to say something and break their silence. And their silence essentially was, we're going to drop the lawsuit. We're going to drop the cease and desist, which was a huge sigh of relief from everybody. But it was like, oh, it could have been more fun. It could have been more engaging. And that's an example for the other supermarkets of good corporate citizenship. They actually rallied in support of each other, knowing they were in direct competition with each other. And so this brings me to bringing this out to the wider space. Well, no, before I do, we often see other brands do this. So supermarkets are a great one. And whoever's heading up their social media at the moment, I find it fascinating and really interesting. But it's the same for fast food chains. They are very of the people. They're very much on trend. They're always on trend. One of the great things, and there's lots of not great things about the fast food market and the fast food industry. One of the great things is they really do keep abreast of how we communicate, and we communicate very heavily on social media. And so we'll often see them interact with each other. And I just think it's fun. It's great to see that they're not slating each other, or if it is, it's kind of friendly banter. It's a little bit of jostling, as opposed to, don't go here, you'll get ripped off. Don't go here because here are the poor things about that particular brand. That's not how it works. It's not how it can work anymore, by pointing fingers outwards. It's allowing ourselves to acknowledge and accept other people within our industries and allow ourselves to be the very, 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 very best we can be, so that we stand head and shoulders above our competitors. If we waste time pointing fingers at other people, if we waste time tearing other people down, actually you're wasting energy that could be fueling your fire to shine brighter. And actually, by allowing ourselves to lift each other up, allowing ourselves to see the competitors in our field as other people providing a service that is absolutely needed, just not delivered in the same way as you, allows us to all rise up when we all do well. And when we all do well, particularly in the small business arena. In the small business arena, there are 7.5 people. No, there's not. There's more than that. 7.5 billion people. I think at the time of this, so we are in February 2022, I think it's 7.8 billion people in the world. with a rapidly growing population. There is no way in hell that I would be able to serve 7.5 billion people. I wouldn't even want to. That's too many people to try and keep happy. Actually, I want to keep the people that are attracted to work with me happy, and the people that are not attracted to work with me, I want them to be able to go somewhere else and be happy. That's what I want for them, right? I don't want to have that would be a complaints minefield if I grow so big that all I'm getting is complaints from the people that I'm turning off, right? So, what are you guys saying about this? How do you feel about this conversation this morning? Please do let me know in the comments. Fiona, in the world of HR and L&D, it's definitely incestuous and yes, a small world. You need to be nice to people on your way up because you might need them when you're on your way down, and business does go like this. Perfect examples out there. Department stores are now sinking. So if we look at Debenhams, we thought Debenhams would be around forever and it is now not. Woolworths we thought would be around forever, it is now not. How do we maintain shining our light and keeping ahead of things? We can't do that if we're pointing at each other and saying, oh, well, you don't want to go over there because they're not very good value. You don't want to go over there, not very good quality. Concentrate on epic value and epic quality for you and acknowledge the other people in your field. Acknowledge them and love on them. I love this. I worked for some massive companies, Sarah Lee, Twinings, and we would always understand our products and understand our competitor products. And comparisons are good, but slating them and putting them down is a no-no. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So there's corporate citizenship, how we reside in the world together. And there's a few ways that we can do that as a wider community. So one is, yes, of course, understand who our competitors are. Also, understanding who our complementary services are. So I have a raft, a team, a power squad of complementary services within my industry. So I am a public speaking coach. I help particularly people in business or advocates and activists share their mission or business message so that they can reach more people, make more money, so that they can amplify what it is that they do and add speaking as a marketing and revenue stream for their business, right? That's what I do. That's my day-to-day job. This is the platform and the catalyst I use to reach enough people to be able to generate that kind of business, right? So I lift the community up. But there are complementary industries and services that are centered around amplification of message, reaching more people, making more money. Let me talk you through them. So one perfect example of this will be Abigail Horn. So Abigail Horn is one of my best friends. She's practically family, but she owns a publishing company, and her publishing company specifically centers around, at the moment, it centers around non-fiction, although there is a sort of I know there is a fiction aspect and a fiction vision for the wider Authors & Co, but Authors & Co center around non-fiction and amplification of particularly business owners to share and create expertise, become the one known in their industry by having this incredible asset of having a book. I have the incredible asset of having a number of books now, so published multiple times, multiple bestsellers, working with Abby. But the two businesses that we have are brilliantly complementary. So having the ability to speak about your industry, speak about what it is that you believe in, speak about your business and your mission is really, really important to articulate that out of your mouth on multiple stages. Being able to have the asset of a book where you can digest this in even more detail creates proximity. So I will always refer people onto Abby. I will always refer people onto Abby, and Abby always refers people onto me, because the two skills, having a book, being an author, creates authority, and also being able to speak well and articulately about your business is really important. Another person in my power squad, Joe Swan from Chocolate PR. PR is the amplification of your message. So once you know what you're speaking about, and it can work either way around. So we work very, very closely to each other. We share clients all the time. And the reason we do this is because we know, we believe and trust in each other's work. We know because we've worked with each other. We know because we have gotten great opportunities off the back of working for each other. We know it's tried and tested, the things that we do. So we will always recommend each other. I happen to know other people within PR in my community. And if I don't think that Joe's going to be a fit, I can say, hey, I know Nicola Rowley, or I know Lauren Perks, for example. There's lots of different people that I know with this amplification. So my power squad is really, really strong. Where PR is concerned, is a complementary industry. If I look at other complementary industries, branding, for example, I know Nikki James, that if you want a really beautiful, high-end, incredible brand, then you want to go and see my girl Nikki James at Just Brand You, or you could go and see Christine Kavanagh, or you could go and do that work with the incredible Jojo Smith at Creative Sass. There is a raft of people that I know in complementary industries. We're not in competition with each other, but knowing people who will enable your clients to round out their offerings is really important. Knowing who are your raft of people that you know, like, and trust. If they want to go and make more money, then it's really good knowing some incredible business strategists. Lisa Johnson, for example. If somebody says to me, I really want to build courses, or I really want to create passive or semi-passive income, I'm like, you need to do one-to-many. You need to go and see my girl Lisa Johnson, join her membership. So good corporate citizenship isn't just about you building your business. It's about seeing your community and your audience as a wider that have a wider sort of range of requirements, and being able to plug them into that. So it might not be right for that particular person in time to work with you. They might need to work with somebody else before they do that. So you could say, hey, go and work with my friend who does this. They'll be able to help you in this particular field. Once you've done that piece of work, then come back to me. That's great corporate citizenship. I often refuse to become affiliates for people because I just recommend people. I don't want compensating for that. It's just in the understanding that we are good corporate citizens together. Do you do this? Do you open that up as an additional way to assist the people that are in your communities and the people that you're in your audiences? And the more we do this, we all do well when we all do well. That's why the hive has become like a microeconomy. We're all building our audiences, but we all know on the inside of the hive whose strengths, if we want to talk finances, if we want to talk about, accountancy, if we want to talk about money mindset, we want to be talking to the likes of Tanya Ibbison. We want to be talking to the likes of Claire Sweet. We want to be talking to the likes of Rebecca Robertson, for example, and a whole bunch of others. So how do we do this? We bloody well network, my angels, my loves, my darlings. We get as much as we can in the rooms with each other when we are able. And there is still a little bit of fear when it comes to being in the room with each other at the moment. But for the most part, particularly here in the UK, the restrictions are now low. And getting back in the room with each other, I think we're back to that paradigm shift where, and I felt this just before lockdown, and I was writing articles about this and speaking about this, that maybe 50, 60 years ago, the way that we would network would be in real life, right? It was really the only way, because you couldn't really network on the internet. It wasn't there as an entity for us to be able to do that at that point. And then what happened is, in the rise of the internet, lots of networking went online and it became the place to network. And after a while, that started to feel a little bit cold. Good morning from Kentucky, USA. Who is this watching? I can only see Facebook user, but hello, Kentucky, come through. I see you. I love you. You are welcome from across the pond. So getting in the room with each other now, after a while, sort of social media, networking online, in networking spaces is brilliant. But also, you don't get that same energy that you do in real life. So finding opportunities to network both on and offline. Alaj is Marianne. Good morning to you, my angel. I hope all is well where you are. But allowing ourselves to network cohesively in safe spaces with each other, to share our successes and our challenges, and then being able to take that out into the real world to see how that works, to know each other better. There's some great networking opportunities that are in our direct space. So, for example, yesterday I joined Nicola Peake's private members club, where you are a part of her membership, but also you get access to special events that you can go and get involved with that you wouldn't normally have access to. It's not showing your face, babes. Look. I can't see you. We need to give StreamYard permission and access so that we can see. But StreamYard's been a bit funny at the moment, so don't worry too much. So allowing ourselves to network online, allowing ourselves to be seen, be heard in the online space is a kind of safe way of dipping our toes in, but then actually allowing ourselves to meet in real life, I think is the biggest shift that's going to be happening over the next 12 to 18 months as the sort of full circle and the reversal of the COVID situation, as that becomes endemic and it's just something that we have to live with, the world starts to open back up again. It allows us to be in rooms with each other. And that's why throughout the whole of COVID, me particularly, I've been leading my community as best I can with that in mind, with ideally, if we can hang out, let's hang out if it's safe to do so. Because it just hits different. It just smacks a little different when you can meet in real life. There she is, Marianne in the house. I can see you now. So there's a number of ways that you can do that. Like I said, I've already mentioned to you some ways that you can do that. Nicola Peake's Private Members Club. I think it's like £27 a month and gives you access to these fantastic events that you wouldn't normally have access to with a fantastic network of people. Please do go and check that out. You can come on into the Hive and network in the online space. And all you need to do in the Hive is share your successes and challenges. If you need help, go in there and ask the question. We have a lovely community of people in there who, for free, can offer guidance, which I just think is brilliant. One of the other aspects of corporate citizenship I like to engage in is giving back. And that brings me nicely onto the Fly Anyway Foundation and the things that we're getting up to with the Fly Anyway Foundation over the next couple of months and how you can get involved. So, number one, before I head on into that conversation, you need to get your tickets for Be Inspired. So Be Inspired is where we are going to be in the room together. And it will be daft of me not to tell you about that. You can get your tickets at iamthequeenbee.co.uk/events. That's for our Manchester event on the 31st of March, 1st of April. We've also got our New York event coming up on the 14th of July. Tickets have not been released for that yet. They will be released in the next couple of weeks. So keep your peepers peeled for that if you wanted to head over to New York with us. Excuse me. Another network who I adore and who I am really closely aligned to is the Sister Network, SISTR, the Sister Network. And that is run and headed up by the incredible Emma Sale of Killing Kittens and also Emma Hardcastle. Now, these are two absolute powerhouses of women, and Sister originally started off with a group of entrepreneurs getting together to do fundraising events for different charities, but they would do like real athletic things. Like, so Emma, for example, has run ultra marathons. Emma Sale, I mean, the things that she does are just absolutely phenomenal. They do rowing races, and famous people have been involved in there. But Kate Middleton, for example, was involved in training for one of the rowing races that Sister put together. There's all sorts of phenomenal things that Sister do from a fundraising perspective, but also as a business network. They are incredible to be a part of. So please do go and follow them. SISTR, they have workshops running all the time. They have meetups throughout the UK. That you can get involved with to go and meet in real life. Some of them free, some of them paid. They've got drinks meetups. We can just go for coffee. They have panel discussions and they host panels. I've been on their panels before, and they always have fantastic conversations that build up business owners, particularly female business owners in this instance. Sister have partnered with the Fly Anyway Foundation for something that's a little bit givey back, and I'm very, very excited and also very scared. So on the 1st of May, we are going to be holding, so our centre stage is going to be Heaton Park in Manchester on the 1st of May at 11 a.m. There is going to be the Fly Anyway 10K brought to you by Sister. So our GoFundMe is now live. The sign up page is now live, so you can get involved either wherever you are in the world. So if you want to do a Fly Anyway 10K, walk or run it and just be sponsored, then you absolutely can. You're welcome to do this multi-site. We're going to be running it as a squad from Heaton Park in Manchester at 11 a.m. on the 1st of May. If you want to get involved with that, I'm going to be sending full details to you in my I'll get my words out. Flipping out. Did you know she's a speaker coach? That Dani Wallace, she can't even speak. In your emails today, I'll be sending you details about how you can get involved specifically with that, and also how you can get involved with the Fly Anyway Foundation from an ambassador perspective. So if you are a provider of business goods and services, and you want to support the Fly Anyway Foundation to provide business goods and services to survivors of domestic abuse who are now ready to fly anyway, who are ready to implement their business ideas and create financial independence and grow their self-belief and confidence, then I will be giving you details of how you can get involved in that. There's going to be a very special town hall, Fly Anyway Foundation town hall Zoom coming in about a week and a half's time that you can all get involved with. A, find out more information, and B, start to get actually involved. So we've started to now recruit in our business builders. We have a number of people who are ready to be helped, and we are now ready to move with our ambassadors. So maybe 18 months ago, so it was November 2020 that I first announced this and got the first of you signed up to be ambassadors, and then we went quiet while we did everything in the background that we needed to do to make sure that we were running legitimately, that we were financially viable, that we had the sponsors that we needed in order to provide what it was that we wanted to provide. We are now in that position. We are ready to fly anyway. So there's going to be details about that coming into your inboxes today. So please do keep your eyes peeled on how you can now support the Fly Anyway Foundation as we move from concept into reality. We've had some pilots happening in the background, all of which have gone successfully. We're now ready to roll that out UK-wide for this year, and then fingers crossed next year globally. So really exciting times from a Fly Anyway perspective. So if anybody wants to get involved with that, please make sure you're on my email list. Go to imthequeenbee.co.uk, pop your email in at the bottom there, and we will make sure that we pop you on the list and you get that information. So there's a number of things coming to you today in your emails. Number one is the Fly Anyway Foundation Fly Anyway 10K info. 2 is the Fly Anyway Foundation ambassador call out and information around our town hall. There is also information about Be Inspired tickets and also Be Inspired New York. So there'll be a number of links on there. I don't normally bombard you with so much information, but I feel like it's been so long since I've emailed you. I want to catch you up, and then later in the week I will break each one of those topics down and give you a little bit more information, both on the socials here and in your emails. Hopefully, that's everything for today. Let me know what your thoughts on corporate citizenship are. I would love to know in the comments or get in my DMs. I'd love to have a chat with you all about it here in the comments, both on the Queen Bee Dani page on Facebook or on LinkedIn. Sending you so much love. I hope you are feeling the fire this Wednesday. You've got lots of fantastic things planned for you, your businesses, and indeed your personal lives. If you're on half term, give your kids a hug from me. I've got a work day today and then sort of lighter duties towards the end of the week. But fingers crossed, you are all working towards the intentions that you set with us at the beginning of this week. And if not, it's okay. You can pick up from today. Be inspired, people and cohort. I will see you tonight at 8 o'clock for your masterminding session. In the meantime, have a great day, everybody. And I'll see you on Friday for more showing up, wising up, and rising up. Take care.